Hi everybody, my name is Christina. Thank you so much for joining us today for our first ever Spark Team video. Now today we're going to learn something that you're going to use throughout all of your trick training, and that is the use of a reward marker. But before we get to that, we need you to analyze your dog to find out what is the best kind of reward for them. You might already know, but some dogs prefer being rewarded with a tasty treat, and others prefer to be rewarded by a game of catch or playing frisbee or tug. So as we continue in this video, I'd like you to decide what your dog prefers to be rewarded with. Okay, so now you should know whether your dog likes to be rewarded with a treat or a toy. Next, we're going to talk about what a reward marker actually is. A reward marker is a way for you to communicate to your dog that yes, they've done exactly what you want them to do and they will receive their treat or their game of tug or toy of their choice. So what you're going to need is either a clicker or a word that you're going to use consistently with your dog that lets them know that they have done the behavior properly. I tend to use the word yes with Chloe because it's quick and easy. Some people use the word good, and still others use the clicker. The clicker is one of the fastest ways to convey to your dog that they've done the right thing. It can be a little bit faster than your voice, and the other benefit of a clicker is that it takes emotion out of it. So when we see our dog tending to do something right, we might say, yes, yes, good, and a clicker remains the same every time so they know to expect the sound that tells them that they did something properly. So it's up to you if you would like to use a clicker or a reward word. Okay everybody, so before we officially get started, we need to do one more thing, and that is charging up our reward marker. So if you're using a clicker, you'll need that or the word that you've chosen. I use yes, and here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get your dog around you and you're gonna make the clicker sound or say the word yes and immediately follow it up with a tasty treat. You're gonna do this about 10 to 20 times and your dog is going to very quickly realize that when they hear or yes, that means a treat is soon to follow. That is called charging up your reward marker. Go ahead and do that before you teach your first trick. Okay, so as we continue, I'm going to show you how to use the clicker to mark the correct behavior, and I'm also going to show you how to use a word to mark correct behavior. So today I'm going to use this stick that Chloe has never seen and we've never used before, so we're going to see how it goes. But I'm going to try and get her to touch the end of this stick. Now as soon as she touches the end of this stick with her nose, I am going to use the clicker to indicate that is exactly what I was asking her to do. After I do that, I will use the yes word so you can see how both can be used. All right, so she's very excited, so let's see how this goes. So first, I'm gonna have treats already ready by my side. I'm gonna put the stick near her, and as soon as I get the interaction I want, that clicker is gonna make it sound. Okay, all right, Chloe, sit. Good girl, good girl. Yes, good. So as soon as her nose touches, yes. Chloe is a pretty fast learner, so I should be able to move my stick around now and see if she'll go find it and reward her again with that click to let her know she did exactly what I was asking for. Yes, good, Chloe, very good. Now, you might see that I'm in the habit of also saying yes because that is my reward marker for Chloe, but I'm showing you too that you can use the clicker as the sound as well. So let's try it one more time with the clicker. Let's see. Yes, good girl, and then I say yes again. All right, now in the same way, I'm gonna do it just using my cue word, which is yes, and we will see if she can continue to work very well. All right, you ready, Chloe? Yes, good. Now, one of the benefits of it using a word instead of a clicker, as you can see, is that I have less in my hands to hold. So while I had the clicker in my right hand, I could really only guide her with my left. Whereas if I'm using a word, I can guide her wherever I need to get her to be and then give her that reward marker, yes, as soon as she does what I'd like her to do. All right, let's try it a different way. Yes, very good, Chloe. Very good. Yes, good. Yes, good girl. Now you can also hear that the sound in my voice does change, which is why some people prefer the clicker, but Chloe works well with the yes reward marker. So in a few minutes, I'm gonna show you exactly how to use your reward markers when we learn our first trick. Okay, so as we learn our first trick today, which is sit, we need to decide when we are going to reward our dog. Is it when they start to go down or when they're all the way down? So you need to know what the sit looks like for your dog so that you can reward them as soon as they do it. So we're gonna learn sit here with our Annie, which is a 16-year-old golden retriever, and she's actually deaf. So you're gonna see how you can use your body language to show your dog what you're asking for. So the first type of trick we're gonna do is called luring. You're gonna use a trick to lure your dog into the sit position, which is holding the treat slightly above their head until they sit backward on their haunches. All right, so I'll see if I can get Annie back up again. Come here, come here. Very good. And again, that was luring to get her to stand. And then we're gonna do the sit again. So we're gonna say sit as we hold it slightly above their head, moving it towards their back, and she'll fall into the sit position. Now, if you have a dog that is reluctant to sit, that is okay. There is hope for your dog. Some puppies and younger dogs tend to be a little more boisterous and it's hard to get them to do what you want them to do. So as you're guiding the treat over the dog's head, you might use some very light pressure to push down on their hips to help them guide them into the sit position. Now, we need to use our marker word or our clicker to tell the dog that's exactly what we've wanted them to do. So come here, Annie. Come here. Good girl. So I get Annie to stand up here, and I'm going to use the yes to show that she's doing the right thing. Sit. Yes. As soon as her bottom touches the ground, we should say yes and give the reward. We're also going to try using a clicker so you can see what that looks like as well. All right, can you stand up, Annie? Let's get you up again. Up again. I didn't drop it. Come here. Come here. Look, I still have it. There we go. Come here. Good. All right, let me get another treat ready. All right, and here we go. We're going to say sit. We're going to hold that treat slightly above, and as soon as her bottom hits the floor, we're going to let that treat fall in her mouth, and we're going to let her know that she did it correctly. Okay, so here's a quick tip. If you're having trouble getting your dog to sit firmly on their haunches because they keep jumping up to get the treat and not putting their bottom to the floor, it's probably because you're holding the treat too high. So what you're gonna wanna do is take that treat and hold it closer to their head and guide them into the sit position. Now, don't forget to use your reward marker. As soon as your dog does it, sit, yes. You should have a yes or a click that indicates that they've done the behavior correctly. Okay, so the next trick we're gonna learn is teaching your dog the down position. We're gonna use a treat to lure the dog into the correct position, and we're gonna use our reward marker, which is either the clicker or a word like yes or good, to tell the dog that they are in the position we'd like them to be in. So it might be easiest if you start with your dog in a sit position and have the treat ready, and what you're gonna do is take the treat and you're gonna slowly bring the treat down to the ground. And as soon as your dog is down, yes, you're gonna say yes or click, and you're gonna give the dog their treat. Now you wanna be careful because like Chloe, she'll be almost all the way down, but kind of holding out, and you don't wanna give her the reward before she's completely in the down position, because what you'll actually end up doing is teaching them that that skewed up position is what you're asking for. So you need to be careful not to reward them unless they're in the position that you're looking for. Now, some dogs might be reluctant to go into the down position. So we're gonna say down, and if you move the treat towards the dog, usually, good, yes, usually their haunches will go with it. So it might help your dog out to move the treat slightly towards them as you're going down to get them in the down position. So today, I want you to practice putting your dog in the down position, and as soon as they're in that position, saying yes or click and giving them their reward, whether it's a treat or a game of fetch. All right, so a quick tip, when you're teaching the down command, eventually you're gonna fade that lure, the treat, out, and you're gonna simply use your hand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the treat down, but I'm gonna act like it's still in my hand. I'm gonna guide Chloe down, yes. But you see, I don't have a treat, I'm going to give her the treat. So the yes lets her know that the treat is coming, it's just not there yet, but she has done the right behavior. That is why we need to use a reward marker, because sometimes when we're teaching a trick, we have all our hands being used for something and we can't give them the treat right away. So later on, we're going to show how using a reward marker can be used for instances such as that. Now another thing you're going to want to work on eventually is keeping your dog in the down position. And that'll require a little bit of training on your part and theirs. And I will show you what it looks like with Chloe. I'm going to get her to go in the down position. Wait. Now Chloe knows the word wait means that she needs to stay in the position she's in. Yes, until she gets her reward. So we'll work on duration a little bit later, but this week really focus on getting your dog into the correct down position and using your reward marker.